I am not a fan of Maresca. He is not the manager for Chelsea Football Club, and there'll be tons of Chelsea fans out there that disagree with me, and that's cool. That's your opinion. But at the end of the day, that's your club, it's my club, and I'm allowed my own opinion, and he's not good enough, bro.
I do think we've seen the best of Maresca at Chelsea. I think it's downhill for him. But basically, let's put it this way: he's not finishing. I can't see Chelsea improving under him any further than they have done. I just can't see it. I could be wrong. Mark, are Chelsea just too soft physically to win ugly games?
Yes. What's a worse word than pathetic? I know I'm talking about my own team.
I don't know if there is one. Is there? Pathetic, ridiculous, terrible.
Weak. I think there are so many problems with Chelsea, which are just leading to these type of games where we're playing so bad. The manager, we're going to get into that. But Chelsea are just so weak, bro. It really does come down to the manager for me. We're going to press more about that, about Maresca and how he's just not the right guy for Chelsea in this pod. I don't actually know if Chelsea are too soft because you've got some big players in there, if that's what you mean. But in terms of coming up against opponents, which are, especially when they come to the bridge.
What I mean is you've got Caicedo, I don't mean it like that. You've got physically strong players, right? But yeah, Sunderland come to town. They were 1-0 down. They put it on you. And I don't know if they bullied you a bit. Do you know what I mean?
They did.
It's more a case of, does that mean that you're just... Are you what Arsenal were 10, 12 years ago? Are you physically soft?
Yes. Yes, we probably are like Arsenal like 10, 12 years ago. I mean, look, if you're talking about Sunderland are playing unbelievable at the moment. They came into the game like full force, 10 out of 10 energy. I think that firstly, Maresca and Chelsea underestimated Sunderland. They also came in with a back five, right? Which means we know how they're going to set up. They know how to beat a team like Chelsea because we've said it before in the pod. I've said it before in the pod. And I've listened to other podcasts, like I've watched the Shootout with George Benson and Eunice there. If you guys haven't checked them out, make sure you do. They provide quality Chelsea content. And they were saying, oh, you know what? It's not actually the low block, which is what everyone is saying. And I disagree, right? Because I did say to you, yeah, any team that wants to beat Chelsea, set up in a low block. At this moment in time, Chelsea have no answers for that geezer. I said to you, and you disagreed. I said to you, Chelsea are so reliant and dependent on Cole Palmer and breaking the lines. And you were like, and we only win with Cole Palmer. And you was like, nah. We've won a game against Liverpool. And I'm like, bro.
I disagree with the whole sentiment, you're Cole Palmer FC, because I also think with Cole Palmer, you'll still lose games like this. Now, you might not lose the exact same game, but you'll still lose. Just because Cole Palmer comes back doesn't mean you win these games.
I disagree. I think that we have a much higher chance here of breaking the lines, of having someone so unpredictable break the lines, create a spark of magic. You know, a lob over the defence, a through ball, a pass through. You know, something unpredictable. Chelsea's problem without Cole Palmer.
It wasn't to do with Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer can unlock whatever he wants to unlock, but Sunderland wrestled the initiative off you.
For me, the problem is still the low block, and Chelsea do not know how to deal with that. Yes, there's no urgency. Yes, it's boring. It's laborious. It's side to side. There's no creativity. Everyone keeps saying it's side-to-side passing, and I agree with that. But when teams come and play against Chelsea and they play a low block, Chelsea have zero ideas. Cole Palmer is that one exceptional player. He's like top 10 players in the world, geezer, who has the ability to break the lines. And let
me ask you then, Mark. Let me ask you just on that point, and you can carry on. If that is the case, and Cole Palmer being injured is the reason why you can't break through low block teams, then surely that's not Maresca's fault. You're just unlucky, aren't you?
we're unlucky, but it also comes down to Maresca and picking the correct team, making sure that the players...
Tell me why.
Because, bro, there's a lot of things about Maresca. Let's talk about his team selection, okay? Let's talk about Mark Gui, right? You get interested to Liam Delap. Immediately, he goes and recalls Mark Gui back from Sunderland, yeah? Guy doesn't play up until a couple of games ago. Played well. He came on, I think it was against Liverpool, or one team. I think it was against Liverpool. And he actually changed the game. Right? Running around, manic, putting pressure on defences, opening up spaces for the other players. Granted, against Sunderland, he was non-existent. But he should have had more chances. He needs to have more minutes. He's still so raw. You're playing Pedro up top. You should know about the amount that... Bro, when Pedro first signed for Chelsea, I didn't really approve of it. When we saw him the first few games in the pre-season, the Club World Cup, we realised what an asset we had. But he played so well only because he had supporting players around him. You've got the Estevals, you've got the Cole Palmers. Their dynamic, their relationship, their telepathy is on point. That's when you get the best out of João Pedro. Maresca keeps playing him up front. Why do you keep doing that? I get it because there's no one else up there, but you've tested it. It doesn't work. The guy is lost without certain players. But he keeps putting João Pedro up top. You're not going to get the best out of him. Play him in his favoured position, which is the 10, and put either Neto or Estevao up top. They can play in that position. Right? Everyone is saying, oh yeah, Liam Delap is coming back a lot sooner than expected. Chelsea are going to completely change. It will change Chelsea. Yeah? But let's not forget, because every Chelsea fan is saying, every Chelsea influence saying it, Liam Delap is going to be a game changer. Bro, he ain't going to be that much of a game changer. He only scored 12 goals last season. What Liam Delap will do, though, yeah, is when he comes in, it will allow Pedro to play as the 10, which is his favourite position. If Pedro cannot play without Cole Palmer, then you need to put him in the Cole Palmer position, in his best position, and then we'll see the best out of it. These are a couple of examples, Neil, I'm giving you about Maresca's team selection. He's too rigid. You're not seeing what's happening in the games. You're not seeing that you're putting João Pedro and certain players in positions that they're not suited to, or they don't have the support they need to fully express and have an actual impact in the game. This is one of the many problems with Maresca, geezer. Yeah? We could talk about his in-game tactics. Do you know last season, Neil, yeah? Last season, when we were winning up until the Christmas period, he kept on saying, right, Chelsea are not going to win the league when this is not our target. What kind of message is that? Can you ever imagine Jose Mourinho saying that? Can you imagine Ancelotti saying that? Can you imagine Conte ever saying that? Of course you're not going to win the league if that's the message that you're instilling in your players. If you don't instill the belief in your players, yeah, you're not going to get the job done. It's as simple as that, geezer. This is Chelsea.
I've got to agree and disagree. It's Chelsea by name, but it's not the same team that, okay, you know,
bro,
he took over a team that finished sixth. Yeah, but a team that finished sixth.
$2 billion.
And he's trying to take the pressure off because you're built, you know, you're built for the future. You've got a lot of young talent there as well, right? It's not the same team that, you know, Conte stepped into in 2017 and taken over a team that was 12th or whatever, but had previous winners that had just won the title 2 seasons prior. This is a team that Maresca's taken over that, you know, was 12th and then 6th or whatever, right? So it's like, okay, and full of young talent. So I think what he was trying to do, and you know me, I won't normally stick up for Maresca. I think what he was trying to do is take the pressure off. Mark, I've got a couple of questions more for you. Guys, before we do that, and before I hit Mark with a couple more poignant questions, if you're enjoying this type of content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us massively to keep delivering for you guys. Now, Mark, we're on Maresca. Why don't we talk about the substitutions? You've said to me in the past you're a fan of him making early subs. That is one thing, yeah?
Yes.
But...
that's only recent, yeah.
Yes. But also, part of that, isn't it because he's had to make substitutions because he got it so wrong? And secondly, sometimes the substitutions he's making are just bewildering, aren't they? Like, what is he doing?
Yeah, bro, it feels like he has no faith in his squad. We've gone down, we've had so many red cards this season. That's something he needs to sort out. And he even got red carded himself. So he's not actually setting the best example. Granted,
good point.
I loved it when we got the winning goal and he ran out like Jose Mourinho down the line. I do love that. Yeah, but you still need to set an example, and putting him aside, the whole team, that we've still got like 5 red cards. That's kind of unacceptable and a little bit unheard of, right? That is not normal. The problem is when he goes down to 10 men, yeah, you're taking off all your attacking players and you're replacing them all with defenders. What message does that send out to you? I'm asking you if your manager did that. What message does it send out to the team, Geezer?
Yeah,
that you're fucked, that you're scared, that you don't trust your squad.
So do you think it's a case of he doesn't trust his squad fully, or he is just naturally a safety first manager, or
a loser? Okay.
Yeah, a tactically inept? I don't know, because these are the questions that need to be asked. Yeah, maybe it is a case of all of them. I think he's definitely proven that you can be safety first, but there's just no balance. There's no in between. You either, you have 2 modes. It's side to side, chilled, relaxed, or just gung ho football, and that is down to Maresca. But that's almost showing an insight, or giving us an insight into Maresca's brain, that he just doesn't really know how to get with the squad that he's got. I don't know. I think he's showing slowly that he's just out of his, well, what we've been saying for a period of time, that he's out of his depth, right?
I mean, look, it's hard to say. The problem is, yeah, he overachieved last season. Yeah, you finished 4th. No one thought we were going to finish 4th. Everyone thought we were going to win the conference. Okay, fair. But no one gave us a chance against the Club World Cup against PSG. Everyone thought they were going to wipe the floor with us. So he's got a couple of European Cups, World Cups. He finished 4th. So to say he's out of his depth, I'm playing devil's advocate. I do believe he's out of his depth. I do not think like he is the manager to take Chelsea forward. But at the same time, the reason why I'm mentioning all those, because you have to give him the chance, right? But even last season, when we started doing this pod halfway through the season, I'm still saying the same thing. I'm not a fan of Maresca. I don't think he's built to handle a big team and a big squad like Chelsea. Okay, he's aggressive. Like when he first came in, he was so aggressive, just completely right. You're sold, you're gone. This is my squad. This is what I'm going to work with. There is that element to it. I get it. But I don't like the style of play. I don't like this, we're going to wait for the perfect moment. I don't like the fact that he doesn't know how to handle a low block. I don't like the fact about how he's positioning the players, who's starting and where they're actually starting. I don't like the message, Geezer, that he's sending to the players. In 2 reasons. I do agree with you a little bit what you said. Oh, you know what? He didn't want to take the pressure last season off the players. That's nonsense for me, bro. You have to go in there with a winning mentality. I do not like the fact, Geezer, is that when you go down to 10 men, you want to get rid of all of your attacking players and bring on all defenders. Bro, for all those reasons and probably many more, we're probably going to get into it. I am not a fan of Maresca. He is not the manager for Chelsea Football Club. And there'll be tons of Chelsea fans out there that disagree with me. And that's cool. That's your opinion. But at the end of the day, that's your club. It's my club. And I'm allowed my own opinion. And he's not good enough, bro.
So would you sack him now?
I would sack him now, because we sack him now. We get a much better quality manager. You can even question me, who would I like to get? I'll tell you my thoughts. But I think most managers can do better. You know what? Brendan Rodgers just got released by Celtic. You know, Postecoglou's going to Celtic. Yeah? I'll take Brendan Rodgers, bro.
Oh,
I'd take
man.
Brendan Rodgers. I'd take
Really?
Brendan Rodgers over Maresca. That's how much I do not want Maresca at Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah, but surely swapping out Maresca for Brendan Rodgers is at best a sideways step. At best. It's not
I
it's not an
disagree.
upwards. Why? Tell me
I
why. Why is
disagree.
Brendan
I
Rodgers
disagree.
better than Maresca?
Brendan Rodgers, okay. What was that team he played before he got promoted to Liverpool? What was that team he managed? Was it Swansea?
It was Swansea, yeah.
Swansea played super football, were really consistent, right? Hence why he got the promotion or the offer to manage one of the biggest clubs in world football, Liverpool. Now, when he managed Liverpool, bro, I was a fan of the way they were playing, how they were winning games, how he set up the players. For me, bro, yeah, I would pick Brendan Rodgers right now over Enzo Maresca. For me, Enzo Maresca has had enough time at Chelsea for me to evaluate his performances, his decisions, and his messaging to the team, right? It is just not good enough, geezer.
I mean, to me, that is wild, but I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one. I don't know. Chelsea fans, let us know. You got to let us know in the comments. Do you agree with Mark? Would you swap Enzo Maresca out right now for Brendan Rodgers? Let us know in the comments. We will respond to each and every single one. Mark, you said there's other managers that you'd consider, right? Let's put Brendan Rodgers to one side.
Areola.
So you'd go.
Thomas Frank.
But Frank's just gone to Spurs. Is he really gettable right now if you sack?
You're asking me who would I rather have? Oh, yeah, I get your point. All right, fine. Zinedine Zidane, Xavier Hernandez, Nagelsmann. Who else is available?
Well, hold on.
I'll take him.
Yeah, but you take Zidane right now. I don't even remember the last time Zidane managed. I think it's been like 7 years. Surely he's been out of the game too. I know he won back to back to back. He three-peated the Champions League, but he did it with a very different set of players to what he'd be walking into at Chelsea.
I'd give him a shot. Geezer. I'd give him a shot. Tell me a bunch of managers that are available right now. The likelihood that I'll pick them over Maresca is going to be pretty much sky high because I just don't have that much faith in Maresca. And I think for everything I've said so far, you kind of know that. He's not fit enough to manage Chelsea Football Club. This is me.
It's not going to happen. You're not going to sack Maresca before the next game. So no, I did ask you. No. But now I'm jumping back to what I think might happen, which means that I think, unless something drastic happens, he'll be there by the end of the season. Still,
he'll be there. He will be there. They'll give him a shot.
Well, dude, if you start losing 4 or 5 games in a row, he won't be, right? But anyway, let's say he'll be there till the end of the season. What's realistic? How does a season pan out if Maresca stays there? And by the way, I know there's a lot of Chelsea influencers, Chelsea fans who are influencers out there, podcasters out there that are behind Maresca still. There's a lot of fans, there's a lot of viewers of our content, our channel that still stand by Maresca ball, whatever that is. As far as I can see, it's like dead ball. But anyway, well, actually, we're the dead ball kings. But anyway, right, that's a different story. What I want to ask everyone, and maybe just ask you, what does the rest of the season look like for Chelsea? Do you win anything? Do you do anything? Are you a cup team that wins maybe some domestic silverware like the EFL Cup or FA Cup? And where do you finish? What actually goes on? Because I think it looks pretty bleak if you keep Maresca.
I think, right, it all depends on the available players that Chelsea have. If we get Cole Palmer, Liam Delap, we keep the rest of the squad fit. Levi Colwill is such a massive miss, right? They should have replaced him. I don't blame Maresca for that. I blame the board because Maresca came out and saying I would like to have a defender, and then the board go, oh, you know what? Let's go and get Bonanate from Brighton. Let's go pay 55 million for Gittins, who doesn't even play. Let's go pay 50 million for Garnacho. And bro, why are you getting all these players right? And you're not even fixing the main problem. And then I know I'm going off topic. And the crazy thing is, we had a loss away, I think, this season. And the board, Egg Barney, they all went in there and they screwed at the team. And when they did that, I was like, well, who the do you lot think you are? It's your fault. You are the ones picking and purchasing the players. You're not even fixing the main problems before expanding and improving the team. You're not fixing the core problems, which is the defense and the goalkeeper. Right? If they had done that, I think that we would be talking a very different story. And you know this yourself. If we had an upgrade on Robert Sanchez, if we found a replacement for Levi Colwill and got an experienced player, I think they will be talking something a little bit different, most probably. And that is down to the board, not Maresca, because as I said, he publicly said he wanted a defender, right? Going back now, if we get Cole Palmer and we have a pretty much full squad that is fit, we'll make Champions League. If we miss key players like Cole Palmer has these blips, these little injuries, if something happens to Caicedo, right, we are not even going to make Champions League, Isa. Yeah. I want to also say...
mental. Go on.
But do you agree with what I said, though?
I actually agree with... I actually agree. I was going to say, it sounds mental, but I actually agree. I do think we've seen the best of Maresca at Chelsea. I think it's downhill for him. But basically, let's put it this way: he's not finishing. I can't see Chelsea improving under him any further than they have done. I just can't see it. I could be wrong, but yeah, it's mental to say it. But I agree with you.
Yeah, and then let's talk about. Can we win any cups? Okay, well, last season we didn't win the Carabao Cup. We didn't win the FA Cup. But we did win the Conference League. We are supposed to, bro. We were playing teams we never even heard of. We're playing correct, bro. We're supposed to win that. We spent 2 billion. We won the Club World Cup. And you know what? I don't think Chelsea won the Club World Cup. I think Cole Palmer won the Club World Cup. Because without him, if he was not playing, Chelsea would have lost. Yeah, bro. He was so instrumental in that game. He scored super vital goals in that game. It's Cole Palmer FC. Now, the reason I said all that, do I think that we can win a cup? Maresca has proven that he can win a couple of cups.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't want to say we have no chance. We can't do it. That'd be silly of me to say because he's already done it. But if I'm putting money on it, Chelsea are not winning anything this season. Their biggest accomplishment, the furthest which I think that they can go, is to qualify for the Champions League. But that will only happen once we've got a couple of our best players. Right now, Geezer, if Cole Palmer's injured for the entirety of the season, I'll say it right now, we will not make Champions League.
You heard it here first. Right, guys. Let us know what you think about what Marky Mark has just said there. Mark, I want to wrap up by just running through your next few fixtures because you've got a tough run at the moment.
Yes.
You've got Wolves tonight. We're recording this obviously on the Wednesday night. So look, you've got Wolves this evening in the EFL Cup away. It's just fine, League Cup. But then you've got Spurs this Saturday. I'm going to come back to that because you're at Spurs. Saturday night football. You're then away in midweek Champions League to Carabao, and then you're at home to Wolves, away to Burnley, and then towards the end of November, post the international break, you've got Barcelona followed by Arsenal in a 5-day window, and then you're away to Leeds as well. So. And then you're away to Bournemouth, actually. You've got a quite a tricky run coming up. I think I've said it before on the podcast, you had the easiest start to the big four, the top four from last season in terms of the first 6 games. Well, you're going into a horrible run now. Before we talk about, Barca, Arsenal, all that just tough run there, is Tottenham away the perfect game for you, given that you've just come off a loss where you should have really won at home against Sunderland? everyone expected you to get 3 points and build up some momentum, but it's almost a case of 2 steps forward, 1 step back again for Chelsea and Maresca. Is Spurs away the perfect game, given the history, for Chelsea this weekend?
Absolutely, bro. Right? Because I have more confidence going away to any team, not just Tottenham. Yeah, just don't have much faith when teams come to the bridge, geezer. I don't know. For the reason I've said, we are going to be playing out of all the teams that you mentioned. I think our likeliest chance of getting the 3 points will be against Tottenham. Yeah, Tottenham will play a little bit more expansive. They'll play a little bit more open. They're going to be at home. They won't be playing unless they're really smart. Thomas Frank, if you're watching, if you want to beat Chelsea, set up a low block. But I don't think that's actually how they're going to play, which means we'll have spaces. Liam Delap is expected to come back. Right, not a total game changer, but he can cause havoc and open up spaces for the players behind him and next to him. I think out of all those games you mentioned, this will be the game I am most confident in for the reasons I said. Burnley, all these other teams, bro, I expect to lose, geezer, because they will set up a low block. Yeah, and I just have zero faith. Unless Cole Palmer comes back quicker, I just don't have much faith in Chelsea. I don't have much faith in Maresca at the moment. But going back to Tottenham, I think at the very least we'll get a draw. If not, we'll get a win. Even though they beat Everton 3-0 in the last game. This is what I think is going to happen.
Well, they beat Everton 3-0 away, right? But their home record, and this is the thing, Thomas Frank does have to change something because
this is true.
Spurs' home form is woeful. By the way, Spurs sit third
as well
in the Premier League right now. But their home form is absolutely shocking. I think the last game predicted a Villa win, and people are like, well, Villa are not really kicking into gear. Spurs are at home. That's exactly why I predicted a Villa win. It was they lost 2-1 to Villa. They drew in the 95th minute against Wolves at home the previous game. They are struggling at home. And I don't know if it's a case of they're thinking, well, we're at home, we've got to play a bit more expansive. Listen, they've got a solid centre-back pairing in Van de Ven and Romero. And they got Sarr in front and whoever else. I do think that when they've got the owners to come out and attack teams and put it on sides, which they're going to have to do at home against you, they really struggle and they sort of fall apart. They almost defensively lose their balance and they lose everything as a result. And I think I've got Chelsea favourite. I think I think you win that game, actually. I don't even think you get a draw. I think you win that game.
Yeah, so do I. That's why I said at the very least we'll get a draw. I think we'll turn them over. But if you want to go through the other remaining games, bro, I do not have that much faith. Right? I just don't have that much faith.
We'll have to save that for another day. Guys, if you did enjoy that, please, like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments. If you agree with Mark, you might sit there and think, what is this guy on about? I'm all about Maresca ball. Maresca's great. He's gonna take us to the title. We want to hear from everyone, Mark, don't we?
My fellow Chelsea fans, I know that most of you, or some of you, I think I've said some outrageous stuff. Let me know in the comments down below. I'll chat to your fine self, isn't it? Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video so we can reach more people and you're alerted when we release our next videos for our next content. Click this video here so you can see more of our beautiful faces. We'll see you lot there. Thank you.